Welcome again to track one here at Mittenkin. We're about midday, a little past midday here. I am Large Margin. I'm joined by Dee Relia. How you doing, Dee?
I'm doing great. I'm so excited to be here with you announcing on the stream for this game today.
Me too. It's been 4 years since we've been on mic together. We've been kind of anticipating. We even made some shirts, but we can't show anybody. But they do exist, and at some point, they will be available to be seen to the public.
Yes.
We are in this one. Small Town takes the first lead jam. That's 30 coming out of the pack.
That's
That is
flawless.
Indeed.
Yes.
So good you can say it together. And jumping sideways out of the straightaway is Hope Lawless getting those first 4 points of the bout of the jam. Both of those skaters are through the pack. And before 4-1-4 Trauma Gotchi can get through for points, it is called. So just a 4-point advantage for Small Town.
I love that Croc, number 38, one of our outside pack rep officials, is wearing inline skates.
I have noticed that as well. I thought, because I wasn't looking, I was hopeful that you said there was like a modified Croc skate to like really elevate the name. Because that's what I kind of love about, and I'm sorry, we're going way into chat. Let's get back into the game. We can talk about during a break how much I love certain derby names. 4.0 Batch, Small Town through the pack first. We have another lead jam for Small Town. And Robin of Knoxley is also through the pack, about a half of a length of track between them. 4 points go up for Small Town once again.
Beautiful inside offense there by Tabby Catastrophe, number 9 for Small Town Outlaws.
Absolutely. A lot of the great stories this weekend have been the walls that have been holding very well for all of these different teams. And of course, can't hold skaters all the time, but there has been a lot of resistance, a lot of fantastic wall work, bracing, tripods, you name it. It's been the best.
Well, yeah, one of my favorite jammers is on the line right now for Small Town Roller Derby. That's Mad Splatter. I very much enjoy following her on her Facebook page and seeing all the hard work that she's putting in to this tournament. And I think she's going to show us again what she can do in this game, like she did against Traverse City.
Oh, Mad Splatter's through the pack. She is your lead jammer. That's D-Town Diva attempting the first pass. And cycled back to the straightaway. 4 points go up for Small Town. Another 4-point jam so far, so that's 3 in a row with at least 4 for Small Town.
Nice shirt whip by Downtown Diva. Still trying to get through the pack past Swamp Stomp. Holding her back at the end there. Swamp Stomp was the MVP of the last Small Town Outlaw game.
Yes, indeed. The one that I named myself. I was insistent. Swamp is working so hard out there, making everybody else work as hard or harder than her. Definitely earned that MVP. Hard lobbied for that MVP. But yes, doing fantastic work again in this bout. D-Town is able to get past. And it's one of those frustrating things if you're a jammer, but at least you got through the first time and forced that call off. Small Town able to get 12 before D-Town able to get through that pack. Looks like we have a little bit of conversation going on between the refs, but we're all good. Just a little conversation, not a timeout, so we're right into the next one here. Jam 4 starts. Small Town has taken 3 leads and has held MCDL scoreless, so they're 20-0 so far.
Nice outside blocking there by Rhonda Roundhouse of Small Town Outlaws, really making MCDL's jammer work hard to get through this last 3 blockers.
Yeah. Got a lot of lateral movement there to try and break the pack. 70 believes cycle back, cycle back, cycle back. Bridge work coming from number 9, Tabby Catastrophe. Also a great skater in that last game. Really put a lot of hurt on those other skaters. Ooh, Chiquita Norris I'm noticing, not in this one, but another fantastic skater in that last one for Small Town.
Yeah, number 9, Tabby Catastrophe, just an amazing job playing with Team Michigan against Wisconsin. Yeah,
a lot of skaters putting in a lot of work under different jerseys today. Love to see it. In fact, a lot of those skaters in that last game, if you watched that last one on this track, a lot of them were in that Michigan game and then skated against each other, Battle Creek against Ann Arbor.
really having a hard time trying to get through that three wall of blockers from Small Town.
Traumagachi trying to find the outside, gets that line, is able to stay in. That was Tabby once again trying to get her all the way out, but she's through the pack. We've got ourselves a power jam while we were chatting it up. That skater with the star for Small Town had to sit, so we've got a full 2-minute jam. We've got about 25 seconds of it to go.
Yeah, Traumagachi has an opportunity here to put some points up on the board for MCDL as Small Town's leading 24-0.
Yeah, she's in that scoring pass, so I believe she's at least gotten past 1 or 2 skaters, so they will be on the board effectively when we're down out of this 5 more seconds of a jam. Small Town making those first jams a lot faster than this one. It's our first 2-minute jam. 4 points it is. 4 points on the board now for MCDL. 3 sideways points for Small Town before that jammer was forced to sit. So 27-4 in favor of Small Town.
Back on the jammer line for Small Town, we have Hope Lawless. Hope originated from Cadillac Roller Derby, which is doing some rebuilding this year.
I was wondering about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I believe Cadillac, weren't they at Mittenkin 2019?
Yes, that is correct.
Yeah, sometimes you just kind of put it away in your brain. Robin of Knoxley through the pack first, so we have lead jam for MCDL for the first time in this bout, controlling the tempo of when they will hit the lines, when there will be a call-off. That wall of MCDL holding firm on that first scoring pass for number 30, Hope Lawless.
Yeah, Hope's trying to do everything she can to get her hips past those opposing blockers.
Absolutely, she's got a lot of help there. Wedge work from, you guessed it, Swamp Stomp, wearing that pivot, trying to create some havoc there. Both skaters forced back, cycling back. And helmet cover comes off, is in the hands of Swamp Stomp. Swamp Stomp taking a lot of star passes in that game that we watched earlier today.
It was a nice run back by Violet Rage. She knew she was in front of the opposing team's jammer, asked the ref for that track cut, and she got that track cut on the outside.
Yeah, so we're in a power jam, another power jam that goes all the way to the end. Our lead jammer is in the box.
Swamp Stomp checking to see, make sure she's legal, coming back in bounds.
Yeah, sometimes you just have to look over to the refs, get that signal for them. Has gotten the right word and is now through the pack for 4 points. Power jam is over. 13 more seconds till we're out of another 2-minute jam. 2 in a row where we lost our lead jammer.
Nice little whip assist by 86 Crazy on that last pass.
And that's our 2 minutes. 1 point going in the air for Small Town. Ground out, 3 points for MCDL before the 2 minutes expire. So they even it up on that one, 7-7. MCDL at 11, Small Town at 34, 22, almost 21 and 30 on the clock at this point.
Now, folks, correct me if I'm wrong, but all 4 blockers on the track right now are veteran blockers for Small Town that have been there since 2013.
That is impressive. When you've got that much experience with the same line, you kind of already know where everybody else is going to be without even looking at them. You kind of just expect that person to be where you are, and that definitely is holding that jammer in for MCDL. Again, collapsing when they have a chance. Didn't have a chance that time. Downtown Diva is through the pack second, though. So we have Batch again, lead jam, and again, 4 points for Batch.
Nice little offense pick there by number 9, Tabby Catastrophe, as Detroit number 19, Stevie
Why-I-yada.
Stevie Why-I-yada.
Why-I-yada. I feel like you could lengthen that out even further.
Why-I-yada.
Why-I-yada.
All right, they're probably like, okay, guys, be quiet now.
But you shouldn't, is what they're really saying.
But should you?
Yeah, let's make some choices here. So 4 points going up as time is called by Lee Jam Batch. 4 more. 12 to 4 advantage for Small Town in that jam. One skater standing for both sides in the box. So a 3-on-3 on those walls. A lot of lateral work there from Traumagachi and out of bounds with some help.
Unfortunately, I missed what's happened there, but it looks like they may have her assessed by the medical team.
Yeah, I believe that might be what's happening here. We do have medical staff walking on over. Yeah, concussion protocol. Yeah. So we have a moment here. So while we have a moment, I'll get back to you on those derby names that I'm really happy about. So we were talking about Croc wearing modified Croc skates.
Yes.
And I love how some people really lean into the name, and they're basically, that's their whole existence is their derby name. Yeah. So I know somebody, I don't want to out them, but like if you took the two parts of their name, you don't really have anything else to describe them. And I'm saying they're not like shallow or whatever. I'm just saying like this is a perfect distillation of who they are. So if Croc had Croc skates instead of inline skates, mwah, perfect.
I have seen there's Extreme Builds group on Facebook, and I'm pretty sure somebody has made a pair of Croc skates. Now, how safe and effective those are, maybe for rolling around doing some chores in the house, but if you don't have that heel strap on, I think you're going to be in trouble.
Well, don't Crocs have a heel strap?
Yeah, some people just slip them on, though.
I do know that most people do enjoy the slip-on. I mean, that is one of the benefits of a Croc. If you do believe that there are benefits to Croc, and some people do believe in the benefit to a Croc.
You know, I tried to own a pair, but they were not genuine Crocs. They were mocks, according to my son. And they gave my foot a rash, so I gave them away.
You know, I just realized, so some people wear Crocs like moccasins. Why don't they call them Croccasins? I really feel like that's a missed opportunity.
I feel like that's a Croc.
Yeah, that's a crying shame and a Croc. But yeah, Croccasins, you heard it here first. You won't hear it last here.
Trademark pending.
Yeah. I'm mailing it to myself. How dare you try to take it from me? That is 13 on the line for Small Town Outlaws. Slaley. I don't believe Slaley has been on the line for Small Town.
No, this is the first game that she has the opportunity to play during the Mitten Kitten tournament this year.
Really?
She's been doing a phenomenal job turn coaching the last 2 games.
Oh, really? Is it too much insider information to know what has changed?
As far as who is playing now?
As to why she would be taking the track instead of being a line.
Oh, you know, I'm not sure. I know Small Town has a deep bench this season.
Oh, gotcha.
So, you know, at this point, I think that maybe, this is speculation, I do not know.
Of course.
Purely, maybe the coaching staff is deciding to give an opportunity to some of these other jammers to get this high-level experience.
I feel that for sure. I think potentially what you had is you had those high-level games earlier where you were trying to get everything out of your like high-level skaters yourself, and now that you have potentially more opportunities to learn against a squad that also struggled in the first couple games. Power Jam going for MCDL while we're chatting it up. Robin of Knoxley there alone with the star, and Isley Jam has the finger pointed in her direction, has made that initial pass. I believe, though, is still kind of in that initial pass, past those skaters, and then got trapped inside again.
Yeah, she's still on her scoring pass, I believe.
As a forearm beat called. Oh, yes, indeed. 4 points go up on the board now for MCDL. So she had been around entirely and was lapping for the first time. And we've seen this a lot. Star going off the helmet of the jammer coming out of the box. And potential Star Stash snafu switcheroo. But no, she again takes it down on the helmet as she goes through. That's Mad Splatter through the pack. One of of your faves on Instagram, as I remember.
She's so dedicated, so much hard work being put into this tournament, and just being the best, person and athlete she can be.
You know what? There's something so intoxicating about like watching somebody improve. I was just talking to another friend about this. How you can really like sort of secondhand enjoy the growth of somebody
Absolutely.
in a way that is almost entirely healthy, and then sometimes just like, okay, well maybe I don't need to follow this person this much. But Mad Splatter is through for 4 points after out of the box. So MCDL gets, I believe, yes, 4 more there before the call off. So a 12-point advantage for MCDL, pulling this just to a 22-point game. It's a big rush for MCDL, quite a large, that may be their largest jam of the tournament. I believe that's Downtown Diva. It is indeed going side to side, trying to get through that 3-wall, but instead it is Batch 4.0 for Small Town. Downtown Diva is through, has to be let go. That last line of defense from Small Town really thought she had one more opportunity to hit.
Very nice offensive play by number 70, Rhonda Roundhouse on Small Town. Big wide open lane for their jammer.
Again, credit those blockers. They are the ones a lot of times getting those points to their jammers. A lot of announcers, and I'm not naming names, but a lot of people, when they're calling, they only look at that star. That's where their focus is. And I get it, like that's where the most action generally is. But a lot of what brings those points are the little seams opening up, the swings to the outside or inside, opening it up for the person to skate through with the star. And skating through on that open seam is Goldberg for MCDL. Giving chase is number 30, Hope Lawless, about a third of a track away. And catching that resistance, maybe swinging past a couple hips. Yes, 2 points. Gotta love that mental math. Swinging by 2, a bunny ear's worth of points for MCDL. Bringing this one to just 23 points.
Yeah, Small Town Outlaws 56, MCDL 33. Just over 14 minutes left to play. Now, I know you can see the scoreboard at home, but sometimes you just want to listen to YouTube instead of watch YouTube.
I'm going to be right there with the audience who likes to do that because I am part of that audience. I love just having, like, this is radio, right?
Absolutely.
This is radio. So Batch is back in the lead for Small Town, and Robin of Knoxley giving chase. Both broke through the pack pretty quickly that time. I think there was just confusion. Both walls just crashing into each other instead of being ready. And Batch almost all the way through. One more line there to beat. I believe that was Rage, the captain. Yes, it was indeed, forcing her out of bounds and forcing that call off. And 3 points go up before the call off for MCDL. And 3 for Small Town. I do enjoy that 3 sideways 3 that we're getting from some of the, because you get that 3 and the 4 are pretty close, but when they do the sideways 3, it was more like an E, maybe?
Oh, yeah, so
Yeah,
you
yeah,
can
yeah.
differentiate the numbers the
Absolutely.
refs are holding up.
Yeah, a lot of flesh tone wall behind those refs, so it's very difficult at times to know whether there's 3 or 4 fingers up there. And just war on the bridge there, and in fact it's a bridge too far, so number 15 will sit, Peachy Queen for Small Town.
Peachy Queen is a founding member of Small Town Roller Derby from
Really?
2011, I believe, or 2012.
Sounds. That is a long time. I don't want to think about how many years have passed since 2011.
Ooh, this is one of my favorite things to see ever.
Oh, yeah?
Tabby Catastrophe jamming. Love seeing her pivot and taking that star.
Absolutely.
Let's see what she can do.
Like you were saying, a pretty deep bench of people being able to take the star. Tabby taking the star sometimes on the pivot, and Tabby Catastrophe, I believe I just said, but Swamp Stomp taking that star a lot in that last game that we called. But skating alone out there is Downtown Diva for MCDL with a power jam, but a full wall for Small Town. Downtown Diva doing a great job of stretching out that pack and forcing those defenders to peel away as a bridge gets those 4 and the call off. Jammer for Small Town not even standing but frozen in the box. That is a common tactic if you've got a pivot with the star in the box to freeze them, force them to take another one with that star on their helmet. But Small Town giving the pivot to somebody who's ready to take that star coming out of the next. We got a timeout here from, oh, and we get right back into it. Just a little bit of a reset here.
So one thing I'm wondering and curious to watch and see what happens, since we can talk about this on the stream.
Hooray.
So in the penalty box right now, we have the pivot, Tabby, who is wearing the jammer star.
Exactly.
So what's going to happen if she takes off that star to pass with the pivot panty underneath?
Did she actually keep it on?
I am not sure.
Okay, because oh boy, well, we had one skater, Swamp Stomp thought that they were signaled to go out. So it does happen sometimes. I have seen some pivots keep that pivot cover on. I do believe they probably, I didn't watch either, but generally speaking, there's a good presence of mind to get that other cover off.
Yeah, knowing Tabby, she probably took it off. I was just curious. And, you know, if she did not, it's a lesson learned for those of you at home.
Yeah, right.
Oh, look, see.
Oh,
there she goes.
Hey.
She's so smart. She knew better.
Yep. Caught it before anybody else did.
Yep. Well done, Tabby.
Absolutely.
Fist bump from D.
I have seen it. I don't believe I know what the call was when it happened.
I think what would happen, and this again is purely speculation, please feel free to correct me. I feel as though the officials would say...
Ooh, big move from Swamp Stomp on the inside. A hop on the call off there. It's stolen some points.
So back to what the officials, I believe if that were the case, I believe the officials would just motion to Tabby in this scenario and say, you are not the pivot, and ask her to, basically by telling her that, she'll be taking off the hat and realize, oh, shoot, I still have that on my head.
I do believe that's probably what happened. I think it was one of those weekend-long scrimmages. That's probably where it happened, where I saw it. A little bit loosey-goosey. So a lot of newer skaters will be at those scrimmages. The first time they've ever had a star on their helmet along with a pivot cover. We have Batch 4.0, Small Town out there, and making their way back and forth. I believe it's Traumagachi. I've seen MCDL enough times. It is indeed Traumagachi being nudged out of bounds. Nudge is a very nice way to say it. Curly Who, the captain for Small Town, giving her some space on the outside to think about it. Batch is through. Batch has 4. Batch has 4 and no more. So that's Small Town up 70 to 59. MCDL keeping it close. Nice to see a close one with MCDL. They've had a rough weekend. I mean, that's what you expect from an 8th seed. Really, it's kind of rough. I don't even know what the standings would be, but it's really, I mean, you look for the wins within each jam, just what momentum you can take. But really, right now, 11 points difference is a good story for MCDL.
Yeah, it looks like MCDL is calling for a timeout?
Yeah, looks like it.
There we go. I'm seeing the signal from the...
Yep. That jam timer is giving us the signal. I have a relationship when I'm not a relationship, but you know, a congenial relationship with the jam timers. When I'm on the other microphone, I like to talk back and forth with them. If they aren't turned away from me, I'll ask them to sort of angle towards me so I can see that signal, if it's a T or a no. We do have that T this time from our jam timer. Oh, you gotta love it. That is the coach, the bench coach of MCDL, giving high fives. And now going to everybody from Small Town, getting those high fives out there. A lot of these teams have been playing each other or around each other for a very long time. A lot of love between all these players and coaches.
As long as he didn't run through the penalty box, I think those hand-slapping encouragement there is fully approved.
Oh, yeah. Very kosher. The most of kosher. All right, but we do in the penalty box have one skater for MCDL. That is the captain, 227 Rage. So one skater advantage for Small Town on those lines, and they are just sort of mixed up together. There's offense right in the middle of that three wall. And right there to get through it, just right by number 86, Krazia. Krazia? You would know.
Krazia.
Krazia it is. Krazia is able to give that offense just another body right in the way of those three MCDL blockers.
Nice job for Mad Splatter going for those arms on MCDL, making them have to drop to avoid that multiplayer block.
Absolutely. Apply pressure at the weakest point, as they say. And set up all the way on the inside, almost everybody. And Small Town just satisfied allowing the skating to happen while they brace for Downtown Diva to come back from the penalty. We were on a power jam. We didn't discuss it necessarily, but we were on it. We're not on it anymore. 4 more points for Small Town as that jam is back into regulation, not power. Half of the jam has expired. We're into the 2nd minute of it. We haven't had too many full 2 minutes. And we won't have one here either, the call off, as Downtown Diva is applying the pressure.
I think that was my favorite jam of Mad Splatter so far. 15-point jam.
Yeah.
Did you hear that echo from the house announcer?
I did. You gotta love it, right? Everybody sees the same thing sometimes. Everybody says the same thing sometimes.
She doesn't know it, but I just jinxed us and she owes me a Coke.
I kind of wonder how many Cokes I'm owed at this point, you know? It's the same thing with like brownie points. Like, where did those go? Don't I get those at some point?
You don't have a brownie points box?
Oh, that is a good question. I didn't even know I needed a box for that. Robin of Knoxley, oh boy, big hit, but just shouldered, completely absorbed there by Robin of Knoxley. Gets through the pack. 3 successive blows, none of them able to knock her out. That's a Star stash. Star goes back on the helmet of Hope Lawless of Small Town. And
that was a very impressive hit absorption there by number 929.
I agree. I wish you could have seen it. I do know what the camera angle looks like, so I know that you kind of got an impression of what happened. But yeah, on turn, actually at the apex, 3 Small Town Outlaws took hits on Robin of Loxley. The last one just gave a hug to that.
Yeah, it really did kind of look like a hug. She saw that hit coming.
Yeah.
Took it into the chest and just
Ready
spit it
for
out to the other side.
Oh, I mean, you can go outside if you want to, but I'm taking this. I'm going through. 2 points for MCDL on that very impressive spin around. And the call off in time before Small Town able to get that pressure and some stolen points.
Small Town's increased after those last 2 jams. Small Town's 85, MCDL 61, with just over 6 minutes left to play in the first half.
Yeah, this one's going fast. I don't know if you've been watching all day, but we've had some that start and stop, but this one has some momentum, and the momentum is on the side of Small Town again. 4.0 Batch is your lead jammer. And trying to make her way through the pack is Traumagachi, that line being drawn out. Where's that bridge? Where's that bridge? There's that bridge. I believe that's Cutter calling for that bridge. Oh, no, Cutter's a different team I just called for. That's number 15, Peachy Queen. A lot of 5s out there. But yeah, that bridge able to be maintained so that jammer for MCDL still held in the initial pass. Traumagachi cycled back. 4 points go up for Batch.
Still fighting through on that initial pass for Detroit.
A little bit of an echo in here. It happens, though. We all see the same thing. Sometimes you just got to say it. If it's the right thing, you say it. So, again, 4 more points for Batch. 8-0 advantage in this jam. Small Town loving this momentum right now. Still keeping Traumagachi in that initial pass. Very clean play out there. I don't know the last time I saw somebody go out. I apologize for the jinx. I know I'm going to send somebody over there soon. It's not my intention. It just happens sometimes. Traumagachi sent back again. That's Swamp Stomp cycling her back. There we go. We call this one as we go to a standstill in the second straightaway.
Very nice defense there by Small Town Outlaws.
Yeah, absolutely stymied, and I've been using stymied too much on this microphone. That's going to be my one for this entire bout. I promise you that. I can't promise that. 96 for Small Town. MCDL has 61. Small Town banging on that century mark.
Speaking of banging, did you just see Cookie Rumble banging on Tabby Catastrophe's drums?
I did indeed. I did.
And it actually looks like number 6, Candy Crusher, will be heading to the penalty box.
Oh, we've got ourselves this power jam. Essentially a power start. A very quick penalty there. Again, I do apologize. I did send somebody to the box. It does happen. Detroit's Downtown Diva is through the pack. Is lead jam for MCDL. MCDL hustling up against that Small Town Outlaws line, but they continue to move forward to absorb those blows instead of just taking it. But that is enough chaos. Small Town gives 4 points to MCDL before Power Jam expires. Again, that star is stashed in the hand of number 6. Go ahead.
Nice line work by Candy Crusher there on turn 2.
Candy Crusher taking that star back, forcing the call off. Again, also blockers forcing that call off as momentum was stalled out on turn 2 for Downtown Diva. Small Town held at 96. We're not at the century mark. So 8 points for MCDL in total with the help of that power jam.
Just finished their game super duper close, 64 to 63.
You love to see it.
Mid-Michigan Mayhem bringing home the win.
Yeah, I don't know if you're watching side-by-side screens, but on the other one, a barn
wow.
burner, 64-63. That is exactly the type of game you can expect, especially Sunday. We're going to get some really close bouts, and I'm absolutely here for it. Got a multiplayer block going on. I believe that's 86. Is that
Yes,
a number?
Crazia.
Indeed. Ooh, big hit. We're going to call it here. Coming over. So thankful for medics to be here. Can't do this legally. Can't even do this without medics, but so happy that they're always so invested in the sport as we are. To keep this as safe as we can.
One of the exciting things about this tournament is
Helmets. You know, we really need to make sure that in games like these that we're looking at, you know, multiple impact helmets.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I totally agree. Now, when you say multiple impact helmets, I don't know which one you're talking about. I do know that there are different types of helmets
Yes.
based on style that I can notice, but I don't know if there's one specific style that we can see from the outer contours that would give us an indication of which is which.
Well, now, I do not know the name brand, but I have, in doing some research on concussions, there are some helmets out there now that actually have monitors on them. It almost is like a little sticker that shows, you know, when that impact happens, that this is a concussion-worthy impact,
Interesting.
and that either the helmet should be replaced and the person should be assessed for a concussion.
You know what I'm just remembering is I have a bike helmet that also has stickers just like that. So it's good that that's coming into fashion, that we're a lot more conscious of. I don't know why conscious is the word I chose there, but yeah. So concussions are on our minds a lot more than they used to be. We have an official rule.
Official review
Yeah, go ahead.
for MCDL. I am assuming they're going to be looking for some type of call based on that last hit.
Yeah,
I do
bet
not know
that's
if they're
exactly
looking
right.
for an egregious expulsion, but we will find out when the officials come over.
Yeah, I learned from Handle Barbarian. I bet you're probably right on that's what they're going with, but I've learned from Handle Barbarian, who called the first game of MCDL with me, that this squad does like to use their official reviews and will do so even if they don't necessarily have something that they'd like to review, but 2.5 minutes to go, it might just be, hey, we'd like to use our timeout, the one that we have.
Yeah,
Let's just use it.
absolutely. That's a definite strategy that a lot of coaches use.
Yeah. Yeah, we've seen it from MCDL. They've done it every period they're going to use those. They have it, they're going to use it. But yeah, very likely this isn't some sort of service of finding out if that hit might have been a little bit more than it should have been, a little bit more intentional than it should have been.
roller derby, just as crucial as the skaters, if not more so.
But we'll get that information in probably about 2 minutes. Almost 3 minutes of that official review have come through so far.
Huge thank you to all of our volunteers here. I mean, all of our officials, our refs and non-skating officials on the
Still got derby to go tonight. I know this is my last one on the microphone, but I believe we have 2 more on this track to go. Maybe just one.
Well, let's take a peek
Yeah,
here
let's
at the
do it.
Catterday schedule.
Catterday. I am encouraging the people at home. Just one more is what we're seeing on the bout. But I'm encouraging on the bout schedule. But I'm encouraging people at home to come up with puns for Sunday that also have something to do with cats. If you have a rhyme with sun that has something to do with cats, hey, come on now. Where's our pun for Sunday for cats?
That's a good one.
Right?
Yes. Send
go
me
ahead.
a DM if you get one.
Do you want me
like
to
to know.
sneak in your DMs about a pun for Sunday? I
Yeah,
got it.
you know, if you've got a good pun for Sunday, just like we do Catterday today,
For sure. For
shoot
sure.
me a message on Facebook. Send me a DM.
I feel like that's a very important breakthrough, so you will be the first on my list of DMs to know what
And it-
that pun is. We're back into it.
We have not heard
Yeah,
from
we
the
haven't seen
officials.
anything from an official either, so we'll
However,
see.
it looks as though
Well, one of the things we'll know is if that,
the official review is not retained.
I believe so as well, yes.
I'm going to check in with my scoreboard operators here.
Yeah, that dot has been removed from
All right.
MCDL, so that
So whatever-
challenge was not retained. They did lose whatever they were questioning. Multiplayer block is called there. I believe that's on Downtown Diva taking the pivot. A cover for MCDL takes a 30-second spot in the box. Ooh, a little bit of a hop there for number 30. Hope Lawless for Small Town. For 4 points for Small Town. Oh, tries to take that hop again, but on the edge of the line and sending her out of bounds is 808. Bleep. I think I'm going to have to use that voice every time I say that name. Now, I think I'm lucky, and I believe that everybody listening is lucky that Bleep is not wearing a star, because that's probably going to get old. But I can promise you the few times I'm going to say, oh, it looks like we might have an official review going the other way. We do, in fact, have that signal. So we're getting get those. Again, could be just one of those things where you want to use it before you lose it. I know Small Town used theirs also in the last one I called of theirs. So we've got an official review before time runs out on this one. We'll see maybe what they're challenging this time.
I can tell you in years past when the team needed a break,
Yeah.
JP would, you know,
Yeah,
go challenge something wild and exotic.
sure. Give it that full 5-minute break. You need to really let those zebras think for a minute.
Yeah.
Up
He's really good at
Lincoln's
picking them out, too.
Really? What's your favorite conundrum if you remember anything?
I don't remember specifics, but I do remember being able to catch my breath.
Okay. Wow. I thought you were saying you were breathless by the thing that your coach has said, which is really quite astounding, but I do understand what you're saying. But maybe you're going a little bit of column A, column B. And
You know,
I
could
really
be a
do
little
enjoy
column
that.
A,
Yeah.
column B.
Just like, oh my goodness, that's what you're challenging?
No, I was speaking more so from skater perspective, literally letting me catch my breath.
For sure. For sure. Why I never. My stars.
What is it we're reviewing? You don't need to come to the review. You can just stay here and catch your breath. You got it, coach. You got it.
I will do that. I have no problem taking a moment here. So that is what we're doing. We're taking a moment. We've got 3 and 3 and 0. That is the worst way to say 3 minutes and 30 seconds, and I've done it, and I apologize. Or I thank you for being patient with me, or I say you're welcome, because that's now the thing you can say to somebody else if you really want to annoy them and say 3 and 3 and 0 for 3 minutes and 30 seconds. But now I've wasted about 20 seconds, and we have an update. All right, so back-to-back not retained challenges. Both teams not able to retain their challenges. This last one was a track cut that they wanted called. Small Town not able to get that call on that jammer. They don't get a power start here. So, and they do not get lead jam. Tamagotchi through that pack on a burst of speed. Star going into the hand of number 13, Slaley. Again, second time holding that star for Small Town. And literally holding it in hand. Sometimes you just want to give it to somebody else. You know what? I had my fun with the star. Now it's your turn, Peachy Queen. Have the star. Peachy Queen through the pack. Initial pass secured. 4 points going up. Second scoring pass for Tamagotchi. 8 points for MCDL. And not freezing out those points. MCDL trying to take some momentum here, keeping this one going. So 4 for 4 on that pass. Still an 8-point advantage for MCDL. And MCDL now calling it, signaling. We got the whistles. We got no more points going up. 12-4 MCDL advantage. 112 Small Town. 83 MCDL. And we are winding down the clock. Looks like we are potentially going into the intermission unless we get a timeout. We generally do. I'm really, really, really excited to see who's going to call it at 1 second. Oh, I guess we're going to go. There it is. I am shocked that we didn't get a timeout.
Yeah, I was waiting for it. Well, they both used their official reviews already.
Indeed. But they had so many timeouts. I genuinely, this is one of those tournaments where I've seen more timeouts as time is about to expire. I'm truly, truly shocked that we didn't get a call there. But we are in intermission. You may not even be listening to us right now. I am Large Margin.
I'm Derail, yeah. Do we still talk during the intermission?
Well, I mean, we can, but I do know it cuts out.
Oh, there we go. So it's pointless.
I mean, not to us.
Not to us. I think I'm going to go use the laboratory.
Yeah. I'm going to get some more water.
He was wearing that one. That's a bright light right there. I mean, the one I had in the previous game was so...
are ready to go. Time of intermission is done. I am again Large Margin, joined by D'Aurelia.
Heidi
Right
ho
there.
there, neighbor.
Hello.
Let me fix my microphone. There we
Hey,
go.
little
Now
bit
I'm
more
back
volume
in.
From D.
Hello.
Dialed in.
Hello.
This is
name.
an all ages stream, so I won't be saying what kind of voice that was. Hey,
Whip.
go ahead.
Oh no, I was just saying whipping out the baritone.
All right, Batch is first through the pack while we're goofing around. Tramagachi is trying to make their way through their first pass. Small Town takes the advantage on this first go-round in this forearm called on the pivot for Small Town.
Yeah, that's number 8,
Yep.
Curly. Curly who?
Oh, not me. Curly you. I feel like that joke is used a lot for Small Town, right? We can't be the ones that came up with it. That is one of the things, I know I'm talking a lot about not that derby, but that's one of my favorite foibles of my own, is that I think that I create lots of things. I thought that I created a Moscow Mule. No, I did not. There are many different things that I did not create, and I just thought I created one recently, a kind of tea combination. It was like, oh no, that's a very famous Indian type of tea that I have just discovered for the first time myself. So we didn't invent Guess Who. Guess
No.
Me. No.
Well, Curly who's name is an homage to Curly Sue.
Oh, yes, indeed.
Because Curly has big, beautiful, curly
Really?
locks.
You wouldn't know it from the helmet. I
Not
gotta
from
tell
the
you.
helmet and the braid, but let me tell you. Yeah.
Indeed. That's one of those things that you get like helmet blindness if you only see people as skaters.
Yes.
You don't really know what they look like when the helmet's off. They're completely different people. And I've got to say, I do know from the stream watching last night that it is important for us to talk about these skaters when they're going through. So Robin of Knoxley is your lead jammer for MCDL, first through the pack. And Star was passed successfully, but down on the track. Now coming up with it, helmet being covered with a star and a pivot. That's the second time that Curly who has taken that star and with the pivot underneath it. Applying the pressure, we hear the call off from that other area. Even through the noise canceling headphones, you can hear the call off, and they get it.
Curly was hoping to pick one up on that last jam. Unfortunately, just didn't get those hips around
yep.
quite quick enough.
So MCDL does get one more as the call off, but again, it's that pressure that's applied by that pursuing jammer to get that call off before more points go up. So just 5 points from MCDL, even though a star pass was required for Small Town. Downtown Diva once again for MCDL, but it is Hope Lawless going out first of the pack for lead jam for Small Town. No foul here. That's what Swamp Stomp says with those hands on the inside of the track. No foul called, so we're good to go.
Yeah, nice outside track awareness by Hope Lawless.
And Hope Lawless also noticing where she is in relation to that other jammer, able to call it off before any points are scored by Downtown Diva.
Did you say squirrely points?
Yes, squirrely points. Everybody's got some squirrely points in them.
I
I
feel
actually have a lot of them. This is another very, very off the cuff, not part of the conversation at all, but it is something that I've been doing a lot of. I am currently battling squirrels for prime real estate for bulbs in my yard.
Oh, no.
So those are some squirrely points that I have. But we are now in the next jam. 4.0 Batch is through the pack first. I believe that's her third lead jam of this bout. Maybe even fourth. So 4 for 4.0. Batch going inside out, inside out, inside out, outside. Meeting her outside is the captain. Captain goes all the way out, but still held in by 314 Goldberg. And Goldberg meeting her to the inside of the track. She is through. Batches 4 points up on the board for Small Town. A lot of jostling, 45 seconds almost before they get that initial scoring pass through.
Nice blocking by number 14 for Small Town Outlaws. Bad Hippie. I believe this is her second or third jam of the game. Doing an excellent job covering that outside line.
Got a direction of game penalty there, going to Small Town. Thinning out the pack just a little bit. That is 86 taking a little seat there. Crazia. Oh, cycled all the way back by Violet Rage. Tamagotchi still trying to make that initial pass. A minute and 20 seconds go. Batch of rhyme with Patch. Goes through once again, has 8 points. Probably has 3 on this pass now, but still needs to get through those blockers. And calls it, I believe, does have all of those hips passed. Indeed, 4 points go up for Small Town as time is called by Batch. 12 points for Small Town brings them to 136. MCDL held to 88 for a bit here. One standing in the box is Crazia from that direction of game penalty. And we'll see if MCDL can get a little extra pressure there with Robin of Knoxley to get through. Has Daylight on the outside, breaks free. Wants to break free, does break free. She's lead jam chasing very fast. Is Small Town's jammer, number 23, Matt Splatter. And that is the forced call off.
Nice,
point.
yeah, nice job there by Mad Splatter.
Absolutely. Matt Splatter, I don't like to talk about uniforms that much, but that skirt was flying behind Mad Scatter. Just absolutely as if there was a stiff wind meeting her headwind, and she was fighting it, getting to that pack to force that call off. Just a point for MCDL on that hard skating from Mad Splatter.
You know, Mad Splatter also originated from Cadillac Roller Derby.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting. A lot of skaters have changed positions. I know if you've been a fan of Derby, I feel like a lot of people watching this or listening to this have noticed that a lot of people have changed positions. We've had, you know, that happens on its own a lot of years anyway, but since we've had that break, a lot of people you've been able to notice more has happened. Battle Creek, of course, not in existence anymore. Cadillac restructuring, so a lot of those really proficient skaters from Battle Creek having some great performances on Ann Arbor and let's see what the other one is. Kalamazoo, in fact, has 3 very great skaters from Battle. To Small Town. That is, again, a normal circumstance in Derby. You can't stay in the town you're in all the time, so if you move teams. Generally speaking, you will pick a new team.
Well, as of now, there are 4 teams in northern Lower Michigan. There's Traverse City Roller Derby, Small Town Outlaws from Kalkaska. You also have the Cadillac DeVillains out of Cadillac, Michigan. And the newest team is the Synergetic Sweethearts up in Gaylord, Michigan.
I know Gaylord. I'm not going to say I don't know what Gaylord is. I do want to say that my brain doesn't really know the difference, like functionally doesn't know the difference between Grayling and Gaylord. I know they're different places. I do know where they are located on a map, but my brain says they're the same thing. And
I concur 100%.
Yeah, I mean, they're the same. I'm sorry. I do apologize to people that are near there and know that they're different. Slaley, again, has the star for Small Town. Small Town has a star alone out there. Ooh. Slaley having a tough time coming back up from that hit. That is a power jam. Successfully ground out Tamagotchi, now hitting the pack once again.
Slaley getting some encouragement from her bench there to keep going on this jam as she stashes the star. Tabby Catastrophe is going to take that star and run with it.
Yeah, so we won't have a lead jam as now the star goes out of the only one that was able to get lead jam. So we will go the full 2 minutes, a minute and 15 gone from it. Slaley gets that star award way before she takes a seat in the box.
Nice job by Tabby Catastrophe picking up 4 points for Small Town as she checks the clock.
Yeah. How much longer do I have with the star on my helmet? I do know that there are some pivots out there that are not that excited to get the star. I do understand sort of emotionally do understand not having the star on you. Oh, a forearm. It's a pivot with a star going to the box and will be frozen there in the next jam.
So that was a forearm call?
I believe it was.
Okay.
That's a signal I believe I saw.
Yes, I believe you're correct.
I didn't see the infraction itself. We go the full 2 minutes here. We'll have a power start with Tabby Catastrophe sitting in the box to start this next one. This time has the pivot cover off and will bring down the star cover alone. No what ifs this time. No curly who's this time.
Very smart here, our Croc, making sure to do some discussions here, but covering his mouth. I see a lot of professional players doing that lately, knowing that there's always video, or people can read your lips.
Yeah. Now, of course, I'm always being recorded, so there's no benefit to me covering my mouth up, but I do think that is a smart decision. Sometimes you want to convey something to one person.
Right. not the entire world.
No, not the 20 plus people that are listening to this right now and the 300 people that will probably see this by tonight.
Sounds like we got a little bit of feedback from the house announcers.
Now, I haven't told you yet, but I've been telling other people on mic that I'm having a competition in my own brain on what's the oldest reference someone is going to say on mic. And I almost thought you were going to say hot mic. But that is, honestly, I do believe that most of the people on mic are pulling references from that specific era. I think it's really funny because we had another one from Saturday Night Live, Summer Donna, the Simmer Down era. Same era. So we're still looking to see who is in fact the most grizzled announcer at this tournament. I'm not saying you actually made that reference, but I thought it was coming.
Tabby Catastrophe is out of the box, and both teams are at full strength. Tabby working hard, trying to go for those arms to get those MCDL blockers to let her through the pack as she hitches a ride on one of her blockers, trying to find a way through. Nice force out by number 808 on Detroit Roller Derby, which is Bleep. Bleep. Bleep.
Staying true to form, we have the high-pitched bleep.
Bleep.
MCDL able to get past the century mark, 102, able to get that initial scoring pass all the way through. Does have to call it, though, as the momentum was stalled out on that exit way of that first pass. We've got a timeout called here by Detroit. MCDL using their second timeout of this second period. If you're playing at home, you have to wonder if they genuinely have 2 left. They like to use that challenge as another breather for their team, as we have been saying all tournament long. 42 points between these two teams, a lot of time on that clock, but Small Town pretty much controlling this momentum throughout. We've had some good large jams from MCDL. That 16-point jam was a strong one from them. And I know they've had some double-digit jams here, but Small Town still controlling the tempo.
Yeah, curious to see what the strategy is going to be for the rest of the game, what jammer rotation Small Town's going to run, and if we're going to see any changes in the jammer rotation for MCDL.
Yeah, I've been noticing that as well. You get a lot of teams that will switch it up in the second period, but I believe we've had mainly the same rotation through both periods so far. I haven't seen any new skaters for this bout or the entire tournament yet, so maybe we're going to get that a little bit later if it starts to be even less competitive than it seems to be at this point. But, you know, anyone's guess, as we still have a lot of time on the clock. Oh, and breaking right through the center. 4.0 batch, getting, I believe, the 5th lead jam for Small Town with her as your lead jammer. Batch is swinging right back into action on a second pass. That is D-Town Diva through the pack on the initial. Oh, the captain of MCDL taking another seat there. And Small Town calls it with 3 out of the 4 potential on that first scoring pass. So 147, 102. Small Town having it their way. I'm all references right now. I don't know if you noticed, but the grizzled thing was also a reference. Really trying to needle that one in there.
I want it that way. Tell me why.
It's all quotes from here on out, folks. That is, of course, the secret of being alive. Is everything is really a quote. You just may not know it.
I was just gonna say you're a poet. Didn't even know it.
I do, in fact, know it. That's a Frederick the Mouse reference right there. Watching a child recently, I know all the children's literature.
Have you watched Bluey yet?
Oh boy, not safe for Mike, but I have a lot of opinions about how Bluey is. I thought I loved it, but I'm gonna leave it right there.
Sounds good.
Mad Splatter is your lead jammer. She's back in the pack for another pass. This one for points has him. Hey, Traumagaccio is through the pack. Initial pass for Trauma. Splatter says we're good here. We're skating together, but I'm the one in control. I've said it's time for a new jam.
Yeah, Batch and Mad Splatter, the main two jammers in this rotation,
Absolutely.
along with Hope Lawless.
You're right. Hope Lawless, I don't believe, has taken the star too much before this bout either.
That is correct.
49 points between these teams. Small Town 151, MCDL 102. MCDL passed that century mark as well. Skipping on that line. Sorry, go for it.
Yeah, once again, beautiful offense by number 9, Tabby Catastrophe, allowing Hope to do that skipping along the inside line.
Hope ready for that call off. Ready much faster than getting to that pack, but maybe psyching her body up to do the work to get that call off. Both squads getting 2 points out of it. A couple of bunny ears hopping through the forest, giving 2 points to both squads.
And down came the good fairy, and she said, "Little bunny foo-foo, I don't want to see you."
I teed you up so hard for that.
I used to work at a campground as an activities director.
Oh, there you go. Well, then I feel like I could easily tee you up for a lot of things. Downtown Diva is teed up for lead jam, and those blockers break her through. She has the star into turn 1, turn 2, finding Swamp Stomp in the wrong position, gets past 1 already, 1 point made, 2 points made. Just trying to get through that pack though, calls it though, as the pressure is applied by Batch.
Batch picked up 2 on that one.
Look at that, 2 bunnies again. That is a score you do not see often.
2 plus 2 is 4.
Yeah.
Once we get into the 3-digit numbers, my math is not as accurate.
Okay, that's fair. I'm a little bit on that spectrum that everybody enjoys talking about these days, so my brain is okay with triple digits. In fact, maybe a little too comfortable. But we are back in this one. Traumagaccio on the inside, nudged a bit too far out, has to go back in beyond those other skaters. Does not quite go back in the right angle, takes a seat for it. So we have one skater with, and as you said, Splatter again, with that star, taking a quick rotation there.
Trying to find a way through the outside, and she does so successfully.
Yeah, I believe Splatter just sat a couple of jams and is right back out there again with the star for Small Town.
Yeah, they're mostly a 3-jammer rotation right now in the second half.
That's what I'm seeing as well. Oh, big bumps on the outside. That's number 15 stalling her out. Don't see a 15 on here, so we'll just assume it's somebody I don't know the name of. But somebody was doing some excellent work there on Detroit. Probably Biscuits and Crazy. That would be my bet.
Small Town Outlaws putting the score at 158. MCDL at 106 with 13 minutes and 13 seconds left in the second half of this game.
This one flowing pretty nice and easy. Not too many stoppages. Love to see it.
Looks like we've got Hope Lawless jamming for Small Town.
Hope Lawless breaking through, lead jam for Small Town. Again, Small Town taking the momentum. Almost all of these jams. I believe it's probably a 3-1 advantage in lead jams. Might even be a 4-1 advantage for Small Town. MCDL doing a great job with what they have, though, when they have it. So they're only down by 52 points. I believe this is their best margin of the tournament right now.
Unfortunately, I'm wondering why Hope took the helmet cover off, as I believe she was lead jammer.
She was, in fact, so now we're going to go the distance. We'll see when Robin of Knoxley, if Robin of Knoxley gets through, if she is awarded lead jam. But I do believe you're right, that it might have been one of those things. We saw it in another game. Oh, forearm called on Robin of Knoxley. So even if she could have gotten lead jam, it wasn't going to happen. Now we do a little do-si-do. A switcheroo of jammers. One goes in, one goes out. Another one will go out in just a moment. Not too much penalty served on either side. We go a little bit of a power jam one way, a little bit of power jam the other way. We are already back to full strength. See what the walls do to maintain. Oh, big hit again. I believe that's Biscuits and Crazy once again. Yes, indeed. Biscuits and Crazy all over those jammers of Small Town. You want those 4 points? Here's my elbow. So she does get 4 points and a little bit extra body from Biscuits and Crazy. Oh, Biscuits and Crazy. Again, 2 hits to get through this time.
Yeah,
She's got him.
Nice job by Hope Lawless there. I think she realized instantly after she got through the pack without her helmet cover on that she needed to come back through and make up those points. So excellent job getting those laps in.
Don't surrender those points. Those are yours. I want my points and I want them now.
I want it now, Daddy. I want the world. I want the whole world.
So I know that there aren't too many people commenting on these, but what I would love is somebody to just document all of the different references, because we're really just ping-ponging them back and forth at this point. All right, well, with Goofin, we've got a lead jammer. That's Batch once again. Only has not been lead jammer one time out of the time she's been out there. I believe 7 jams, 6 lead jams for Batch. Really tight rotation. Ooh, nice derby whip action. Getting the jersey, going through. Gets that call off. Nice 4 points with the help of a jersey. The jersey belonging to a little bit of Fury.
Unfortunately, Tabby spending a little bit more time in the box once again on a direction call on that last jam.
Not wearing a star this time, so
not wearing a star.
No worries about whether there's a pivot underneath it. Pivot is on top this time. We can't speak to if there's a star underneath that pivot. We're back in it. Jump out by number 23, Matt Splatter of Small Town. Tramagachi is through as well. Half of a track between these two skaters.
She's over there.
Oh, and in the confusion on the inside, on the apex, lane 1 is open for 4 points.
Nice offense there by number 7, Violet Rage of Small Town Outlaws.
Absolutely. Sent Pettit to the floor, wide open lane.
Yeah, she got up with a couple of questions.
What's up? Oh, yep.
Oh, that's our lovely AK, our Mitten Kitten, our host extraordinaire. Without AK, Mitten Kitten would not happen.
That's the one you can say for certain. I know there's a lot of people we can do without. You can do without me. You shouldn't do without me.
You could absolutely do without me. And I'm sure that some people will be saying amen when they listen to this stream.
I thought you were going to go the other way. I was rooting for you to say you cannot do without me. I know you're saying that you can do without me. No, sirree.
I cannot do without you.
No.
But I'm sure people can do without me.
Lovely. I will accept that compliment. I'm going to pocket it. I'm going to keep it for later. Batch will take those. No points on the way out. MCDL will pocket the 4 that they take. Well, we're just hanging out, talking about AK and ourselves. And I'm sure everybody was very appreciative of our calls directed towards the Derby happening very close by.
You know, another thing I want to point out is the track repair folks, especially Cookie Rumble.
Oh
She's such a vibe,
yeah. Yeah, right.
right? I mean, she really is. And
Right.
I don't think I've seen any tape come up. No stoppages in play from tape malfunction. Cookie is on the track.
Cookie's right there. I actually talked to Cookie last night while she was standing out mid-track, kind of talking at more than talking to, sort of shouting as maybe the tape collectors, tape appliers are just eyeing that track so closely, like their focus is just on the track. They don't even know necessarily maybe Derby is going on at this point. It's just like, where did that... See, she's already out there. She knows exactly where that tape needs to go.
Yeah.
Timeout is called by Motor City. That's their last timeout, called a timeout. So they have their official review to go if they choose to use it. We'll see if, in fact, they go the full 6 for 6 on using their official reviews.
Yeah, Small Town sitting with their official review and all 3 timeouts.
Amazing gumball toe socks, which are some of the best in the industry. Everybody loves their gumballs. Absolutely.
Small Town able to get 4 out of that one. We didn't really explain that jam either. 182 for Small Town. MCDL sitting at 114. Unable to pick up points on that last one, but they have been trading lead jams, and that has been giving them a little bit of momentum. So who you liking out here with 7 minutes to go? I know you've got a home squad you're essentially not cheering for over the mic, but that you do know quite
I'm
well.
the most comfortable and familiar with Small Town
For
for
sure.
sure. For sure, yes. I don't have any favorites, but if I did, I would say Team Maryland.
Okay, that's totally fair. So who from Team Maryland is the MVP of this bout?
Of course, I'm not going to remember the name as soon as you tell me, but what I can tell you is she has fantastic eye makeup, and she is the captain of Team Maryland. Unfortunately, none of the skaters on Team Maryland I've skated with previously, but I did start my derby career down with Charm City Roller Derby in Baltimore,
Okay.
Maryland.
Oh, I see. So it wasn't just a joke. You weren't just teed up for a very funny joke. You did actually have some
Sprinkle,
basis for that.
sprinkle.
Yeah.
All the love for Team Maryland.
Getting another 2 points there.
2 points in the air for MCDL. Nothing for Small Town, so a total of 6 for MCDL.
Candy Crusher was out earlier. That's number 6 from Small Town, who was jamming. It looks like she's going to get some blocking experience in
Yeah.
with Curly Who Crazia and number 7 Violet Rage.
I've seen that 6 out there quite a bit, actually. I did notice that we got a little cross out there on Candy Crusher's bout number 4 this one. Typically 69 on that jersey, but 6 for this one. But I have noticed she's been out there. Of course, Spazilla, their normal number 6. Lead jam is 20, Swamp Stomp. Swamp Stomp is stomped at turn 1. Gets a couple of points before the momentum is gone. Quick one pass and done. Not quite a complete pass there from Swamp Stomp. That's where we stand with 2 points. Small Town at that pivot line to start. Well, I'm glad you asked. I'm liking right now, I'm thinking I like Curly Who on this one so far. The captain, Curly Who, taking a lot of passes, keeping the momentum going when they haven't been lead jammer, keeping them in this one.
Unfortunately, Small Town Outlaws did not field a pivot in time. They almost got that hat on. Go-Go Gadget tried super hard to get that on in time, but the official said, nope, sorry, just a little bit too late. So Batch is on her own for this jam.
Do you think that it could have gone to Guess Who? If, in fact, it would have gone to somebody? Oh, I'm sorry, that's Heavy Catastrophe out there, right?
Yes. You know, Go-Go Gadget is a phenomenal pivot.
Oh,
I have not seen her pivot a lot this tournament.
I have not either.
But in the years playing Derby with her, she's one of my favorite people to see jam. I know I said I have no favorites, and I've said so far that I have like 3 favorites.
I mean, there's too many favorites. You can't just have one favorite.
How many favorites How many favorites are you allowed?
I mean, I feel it varies to person. It's really, it's one of those things. So like, what's the definition of is? So
Right.
like, any word can have your own sort of like elasticity. So your favorite could be one,
For
your
sure.
most favorite, or you could have, a whole squad of favorites. Oh, churning on the inside. Thought that door was open, but it slammed shut as Swamp Stop closing the door on the inside of the straightaway. Taramagachi found again the back end of Swamp Stop on turn one. Forced back again. Cycled back there. Cycled back again. Guess who? Curly who?
One person I have not seen jam besides now is number 14, Bad Hippie from Small Town. I am a huge fan of seeing blockers jam, in case you haven't picked up on it so far.
I truly am too. I think it's one of those things where you don't see it too much until the end of a bout, and you get a lot of people very excited. A lot of the crowd that knows these jammers as blockers primarily will be very excited.
If I could clap, I would. That was beautiful. Nice job by Bad Hippie.
You got so close to one clap. Nobody on the stream could see you. Oh, and has the ability to call and does. Gives the rockin' devil horns on that one.
That was a 12-point jam by Bad Hippie. Bad Hippie, when you watch this again, I hope you're very proud of yourself. You're coming off with a smile. And
Absolutely.
I love seeing blockers jam. Very well done.
There's a lot to be excited about as that jam expires. 200 to 110, one of the most lovely rounded numbers we've had between differentials, so 80 points in difference. 12 points for Small Town in that one, in primarily a blocker turn jammer.
Oh, beautiful toe stop action on the inside line by Mad Splatter. All those additional ankle strengthening exercises have paid off. Well done, Splat.
A lot of those jammers, you watch them do that in warm-ups. That'll just be what they're working on. Some of them will be going wide and narrow on the outside. Some will just be working on those toe stops. And you have to imagine Mad Splatter was doing it before this one started. 4 points go up to Mad Splatter. Robin of Knoxley is spun around, but out of turn 2 on her own. She is through the pack.
Now, I don't know if you saw it, but we just saw another hug from Detroit's Jammers.
Yeah, a lot of affection between these two squads for sure. Oh, and forced out by number 44. That is Go-Go Gadget, one of your favorite jammers.
One of my favorite pivots who likes to jam. Go-Go Gadget run back. Go-Go has a lot of powers.
Absolutely. As you would expect from a name like that, Go-Go Gadget, known for the many abilities hidden underneath that trench coat. I don't know why I'm explaining the plot of Go-Go Gadget, but here we are, I'm doing it. And spun around again and brought almost to the brink of the line, but still taking the inside of the track and able to get through. Robin of Knoxley takes 4 out of it. Mad Splatter just satisfied to get another 4 points. Looks over at the bench. Bench doesn't give a signal to stop, so we keep going. Now the bench says go ahead. Just 12 seconds to go on that jam.
Are we going to see a timeout from MCDL?
That is exactly what I was going to ask, and you beat me to it. It's one of those things. I do see him looking.
And there we go. Clock stoppage with hopefully 14 seconds left on the clock.
Yeah, official review.
Oh.
And they go 6-4-6 this tournament. If you've been keeping track, we get an official review for MCDL in this period. It should be one of its own drinking games, I feel like. I'm a sober person, been sober for 8 years at this point, but I do know that that's one component of the Derby community. So whatever you are drinking, that should be part of the game. If MCDL gets off all of their timeouts, that's a drink. If they use their challenges, that's a drink. If they don't retain those challenges, that should be another drink too. Because honestly, if you're trying to get drunk, that's part of the game, right? You get those drinks in.
I too do not partake in alcoholic beverages.
A lot of people these days. for whatever reason you are or are not drinking, I support you.
100%.
We get to make our own choices.
You got that
And whatever
right.
works for you, good on you.
That's right.
What works for us right now is Small Town is up 216 to MCDL's 124. 15 seconds to go with the official review. Only a minute and 17 into it, so we've got some time to talk it over. We're getting a little bit of conversation there in the middle of the track. Got some captains, got coaches, but actually the zebras are on their own, so whatever was conveyed to them has been conveyed, and they are talking it over. But we will get one more jam, potentially two more jams. We do have one more official review. I don't want to call it too soon. We did call it too soon last night, and I had to tell my announcer friend, hey, wait a minute, there is an official review left over in this Traverse City team. We're getting a word here.
Does not retain? Or does retain?
Was MCDL trying to get a penalty put on a Small Town Outlaws blocker for a forearm that sent their jammer out of bounds. And because of this official review, a Small Town Outlaws blocker will be heading to the penalty box.
Absolutely.
Meaning that MCDL retains their official review and can use it again if they so please in the next 15 seconds.
I don't know if you heard it on the house. You may have, but so MCDL, the rare call in which they are looking for an overturned call, they do get something applied correctly in their favor. There is a penalty assessed to a blocker, a forearm on a blocker from Small Town. They retain their official review. They will have a chance to use two in this period. That might be the story of this bout now. Will there be two from MCDL in this period? Biscuits and Crazy with the star for MCDL. They took it right at the end of the last bout they were in as well. Hope Lawless is through the pack. They control when this is called off. We are out of period time. We have lots of time on the jam clock. Looks like Small Town is willing to let this one go. Sometimes if you got the lead, you want to call it, but Small Town saying we can keep going. If you wanted this jam, you get this jam.
I'm sure Small Town's probably trying to make sure that they end this game with at least a 100-point spread. Because right now we're at Small Town 220, MCDL 124.
Sometimes you just want those clean 100s, right? That hundo. Directional penalty called on number 6 of Small Town, Candy Crusher. Hope Lawless, go ahead.
Hope Lawless picking up 4 more points as Rhonda Roundhouse takes down MCDL's jammer once again.
Huge hit there, Roundhouse.
With a huge smile on her face, nonetheless.
Yeah, sometimes you know you execute perfectly. You just have to be proud of yourself, and it doesn't matter who knows.
I feel like MCDL's jammer could do great work of this pack with just a little bit momentum.
Absolutely. But that Small Town pack is not allowing any of that momentum to go through. A lot of offense right now from MCDL to get that jammer through. We are out of jam time in just a moment here. And the star going to the pivot of MCDL. And Downtown Diva holds the star as this one goes down to what might be the end. Again, MCDL has another official review.
Now, on that last jam at the very end, MCDL was attempting to do a star pass. However, I did see the officials signal to the pivot that they are not the jammer, as the pivot did take that jammer hat on one knee.
Oh, yes.
So you cannot hand off your jammer hat to the pivot if you are not fully upright and in bounds during
Excellent
gameplay.
clarification that unfortunately nobody would have seen, but you saw it, and now everybody knows it has happened. All right. We have our winner. Small Town Outlaws take this one by exactly 100.
What did I tell you?
Right? So we have it.